What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to NFL Throwdown, the last episode of 2016. Now, this is the first video of 3 straight nights of me and Mr. Black talking our asses off about shit. Tonight's football, tomorrow night's wrestling, and then the final video, final vlog of 2016, might I say, will be our 2016 year in review and what to expect from 2017. So how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's another wonderful day in paradise. Another Wednesday in Orlando, which means that it's hot and cold at the same time. I don't know what the fuck how that even happens, but it is, bro. NFL was a crazy week. And we'll get to that. But just think about this for a second. The Raiders won and lost their quarterback. The Niners won. The Browns won. And Seattle lost. Which for me is just like, wonderful. I mean, your mileage may vary. Oh, and the Dolphins are in the playoffs. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, Dolphins celebrating like they're going to win the Super Bowl. And Tom Brady like, no, you're not.
What's even worse is that they have to run into either the Raiders or the Chiefs in their first game. without Tannehill.
If you look statistically, as you like to say, Matt Moore's been playing better than Ryan Tannehill. Oh, we don't want to talk about that one?
No, because then you're going to give them hope. You don't want to give the Dolphins hope. Because
why? You just snatch it all away from them.
Well, I don't even think they're going to get past the Chiefs if they have to play the Chiefs in Kansas City, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So,
all right, so we're going to do a quick rundown. We both think we already talked about it. The New York Giants blew the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, thus keeping the Redskins alive, not locking up a playoff spot, keeping other teams alive. The Giants, what the fuck?
Well, oddly enough, yes, thanks to the Eagles beating the Giants, for some weird ocular reason, the Redskins are still in it if they win and a bunch of teams lose. Here's the thought process about this one. So guaranteed that's in the playoffs right now, based off of record alone, are the Cowboys, of course, the Seahawks, and the Falcons. Those are the only three guarantees. Three guarantees. Well, I think the Giants did lock up a playoff spot as a fifth seed.
It's so fucked up in the NFC that if a certain thing happens, the Carolina Panthers will make the playoffs.
Yep. Yep. Well, yeah, here you go. You ready? Let's do this for a second. Because this is how fucked up this scenario is. So, if the Redskins win a game, when they win next week, right? They'll be 9-6-1. Remember how they ties, how they fuck up everything for everybody else? Well, if the Bucks win, if somehow sneak in, if the Bucks, no, let me phrase that. If the Bucks lose, no. Even if the Bucks win and go 9-7, the Lions win and the Packers lose. The Redskins are in the playoffs because they have the 9-7 record. They got a 6-1 record.
Just win a fucking game.
Yes, we've emphasized this too many times. Just win the fucking game. That's all it takes. That's all it fucking takes.
So besides that clusterfuck, we also had the Miami Dolphins defeating the Buffalo Bills, Miami clinching a playoff berth, and also getting the Ryan brothers fired.
Yes, that was a wonderful thing, and finally how it all culminated on that day. Hold on, give me a second here. It finally, I love how it all culminated because the Dolphins beat the Bills in OT, and all they were waiting for was to see what happened to the
Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Baltimore. Also, the Tennessee game, because that had some implications in there as well.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
But they were just, all they had to do was sit there and wait. With the Steelers beating the Ravens, the Chiefs beating the Broncos, Dolphins locks up a playoff spot. Dolphins first time in the playoffs in a long time. How long? I believe it was
since 2008, I think.
2008, 8 years. Long time not to go without being in the playoffs.
But good job, Miami. Welcome to the slaughterhouse.
Yes. Unfortunately, we might have to end up giving you a participation more once you get in, because you got to play either the Chiefs, the Raiders, or the Steelers. Ooh.
Yeah, good luck on that one. And the sad part about that is the Raiders and the Steelers might be the two easy teams to beat.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, yeah, you don't want to play Kansas City in Kansas City, as they've proven. Kansas City's proven that's not the place you want to play them in January. Actually, you just don't want to play Kansas City at all on the home or road, because they'll light you up on the road, they'll light you up at home. Doesn't matter.
All right, now let's move on to an NFC South showdown. We had the Atlanta Falcons. I think they clinched the division by beating the Carolina Panthers on Saturday.
Yeah, they clinched. Not only did they clinch the division, because of their record, I'm pretty sure that they clinched. No, they didn't clinch the first round bye yet. They got to win this week to clinch the first round bye, but they did clinch division for sure. I thought that the Buccaneers were going to come in and slide and clinch that division, but Matty Ice avoided the slide and made sure that they stayed on track and headed into the playoffs and have the possibility for playing for the for first round bye. So we'll see how that goes, man. I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. Matty Ice didn't falter as much as he did in the last few seasons, where they went 8-1 and ended up 8-8, or went 7-1 and ended up 7-9. So,
well, Matt Ryan has done his job this year. Even without having Julio Jones for a majority of the last 4 weeks, they've still been okay. In past years, you couldn't say that about that team. I believe the addition of Mohamed Sanu really helped, because he brought in that veteran gritness that he had in Cincinnati, which ultimately probably took the Cincinnati Bengals out of all their shit. It's just weird how the NFL works like that, man. It's a vicious cycle.
Well, I think the thing about the Bengals, oddly enough, it was the loss of Hugh Jackson and the way that offense works. The offense worked. The offensive production has not been the same in Cincinnati ever since Hugh Jackson left. Hey, you can't knock it. The good dude is an offensive guru and a hell of a coach. Even though he's not doing so well on the Browns, he doesn't have his Cincinnati personnel. And I'm pretty sure if he had a Cincinnati personnel, he'd probably be as successful in Cleveland as he was in Cincinnati. Well, although you got to keep in mind, though, when Josh McCown was the quarterback this season, he did put up numbers. Just the defense couldn't stop much at all when in late in games. So.
Yeah, it's just rough, man. The Panthers, they have underwhelmed something serious this year. Cam Newton has gone from just being cocky to being a cocky Aunt Jemima-looking motherfucker in one season. He got famous, and you can tell.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, no team has went 1-5 and made the playoffs in a long time. They started out 1-5.
Yeah, but this year is the first year in, I think, a while where both Super Bowl representatives last year are not in the playoffs.
Which told you everything that you need to know about last year.
Are you talking about when they gave Peyton Manning the Golden Glory present?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the Panthers had no right being as good as they were. They weren't talented on any side of the ball except defense.
Hold on. Can we throw a little Illuminati moment in here real quick?
Sure, why not? Why
not? 2 years ago, Cam Newton put up fantastic numbers. Who was he throwing the ball to all the time? Kelvin Benjamin, right? As a rookie, Kelvin Benjamin got targeted 144 times. And they were what, 6, 7, and 1?
No, they were. That's when they made the playoffs.
7, 8, and 1.
Yeah.
Okay, the last year, Kelvin Benjamin gets hurt in the beginning of the season. Cam Newton has to open up the offense. They go 15 and 1. Cam Newton's the league MVP. Accounts for 45 total touchdowns on the season.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
This season, Kelvin Benjamin is back. And the Carolina Panthers.
Which I'll tell you exactly what it is and what it comes down to. And people are going to knock me for when I say this. Teams that had to adjust to spreading the ball around early in the year have proven to be more successful than teams that are focused on giving the ball to one receiver. Think about this for a second. Colin Kaepernick, even how abysmal the Niners' offense is. When Colin Kaepernick was able to spread around the ball more, that his offensive numbers went up. Russell Wilson has had more success spreading the ball around. Let's not get it twisted. Even Tom Brady, as we all know, has been spreading the ball around for 17 freaking years. He's proven to be one of the most successful quarterbacks. The most successful quarterback make every receiver double team. You know what I'm saying? And so, which goes back to the reason why the Panthers failed this year falls simply on one man, and that one man's name is Ron Rivera. When Kelvin Benjamin came back, he made his offense all about Kelvin Benjamin again. It's just not working. You know it's not working, Phil. I know it's not working. If they don't spread the ball around like they did last year and establish the running game like they did last year, Ron Rivera's going to lose his job next year. Ron Rivera's job is safe right now because he took the Panthers to the Super Bowl. So they are allowed to have one fluke here. It's not going to be the same thing next year.
Can I throw a name out there that we can add to the point of Tom Brady throwing the ball to everybody?
Sure.
I don't even know the dude's first name, but his last name is Langell.
Oh, yeah, Joe Langell.
No, begins with an M.
No, it's Joe. I thought it was Joe Langell.
No, it's M. Langell.
Let me see.
This cat is a nobody. But you know what he has? A touchdown pass from Tom Brady.
Didn't he get Tom Brady's no, it's Matt Langell. Yeah, Matt Langell.
Yeah. He caught a touchdown pass from Tom Brady.
Didn't he get Tom Brady's it was a commemorative touchdown. It was I want to say 200th or no, like 300.
No, he's got 200 wins.
No, it was Tom Brady's 300th touchdown or something like that.
Some shit. Yeah. But you have to use all your parts.
Yeah.
People wonder why the New England Patriots are so successful. It's because all 53 men on that roster play a part. Case in point, Kyle Van Noy, a second-round draft pick of the Detroit Lions, probably, if he wasn't traded to New England, would have been out of the NFL after the season.
Of course.
Has gone to New England and flourished.
Yeah.
It's more teams need to try and do what New England does.
Yeah.
Or else they're just going to continue to live in mediocrity, much like the next team we're going to talk about. And that is John Fox's, probably his retirement job. The Washington Raiders blowing out the Chicago Bears in frigid Chicago.
Fucking John Fox. The whole thing is this. I don't know. John Fox didn't want Jay Cutler as it was. I think John Fox is going to be allowed to have 1 year with no Jay Cutler within the draft a quarterback and see what happens.
Well, if they want to go with Matt Barkley, I hope they don't look at this last game 5 interceptions.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go with Matt Barkley. I think Matt Barkley is not the solution. They're going to have to go to the draft for the first time in a long time and draft a quarterback in the first round. I don't think they've drafted a quarterback in the first round since they've drafted Jim McMahon, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. Yeah, they haven't drafted a quarterback in the first round in a long, long time. And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to be easily a top 5, top 6 draft pick. There's going to be a few quarterbacks. Probably even Deshaun Watson might be available because there's 2 or 3 quarterbacks that are ahead of him in the draft right now. But I think that Deshaun Watson is a special player.
Well, Lamar Jackson is going to stay in college 1 more year, so. Yeah.
Even at that, you got those 2 names that they've been talking about all year ahead of Deshaun Watson. I think Watson might bring in a new era in Chicago, a new different style. And plus, John Fox can work with mobile quarterbacks. I mean,
well, JT Barrett's coming out this year too.
Yeah, you got JT Barrett. Hell, who knows? They might trade for Cardell. Who knows? I don't know. Chicago's gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something fast.
So now we're going to move on to a game that I actually called last week. The Cleveland Browns getting their first win of the season over the San Diego Chargers. Bye-bye, San Diego. Move to Los Angeles. They don't want you here no more. Bye-bye.
Of course not. And you know what? If I was San Diego, I'd take up Las Vegas on their deal, on their offer to move to
they fuck the Raiders and we're taking the Chargers?
Yeah, if the Raiders want to stay in Oakland, we'll take the Chargers. Fuck it.
But the problem is the Raiders don't want to stay in Oakland.
Well, that's because, you had a bunch of Las Vegas billionaires, giving them the under the table hand job treatment.
Well, no, it's because the city of Oakland, where you are from, sir, has not given a shit about the Raiders until they started winning this year.
Well, okay. So first off, the Raiders haven't given a shit about winning since Carson Palmer was there. And they didn't
give a shit about winning that year either.
They've asked too much for Hugh Jackson, okay? Al Davis was like, just tank, baby, just tank.
I can't even say nothing about this game. It was an ugly game. The Chargers came out like a fucking house on fire. Then they fell in quicksand somewhere. I think the Browns hired Nancy Kerrigan, hit everybody.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was all bad, bro. It was all bad.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
It's not even worth our breath anymore.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, though. Since we're doing an advance, Crying Jordan Award definitely goes to
the city of San Diego.
The whole city. Not even the Chargers, the whole fucking city.
And you know what? That's a continuation of last week of you having the fun-one crowd noise to practice because you knew the Oakland Raiders were selling out your asses 20-1 in your own fucking stadium. The Paul Revere Riders of New England would shoot every Raiders fan that tried to walk into New England if they tried to outnumber Patriots fans. Jeez, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That ain't no goddamn pro franchise.
They were a pro franchise earlier this year. I don't know what you're talking about.
They couldn't even sell a goddamn ticket for $1. A motherfucking $1.
In their defense.
That's why Raider fans got in there. What? Anyway, let's move on to the other Crying Jordan recipients of this season. The fuck is going on over there?
I'm here. I had to plug in the thing. Sorry.
We got the motherfucking bunk-ass Minnesota Vikings who 1 week after Adrian Peterson comes back, oh, we don't want to play with you no more this year. Going against the Green Bay Packers. Fuck you. You know what? Those quarterbacks who turned on Mike Zimmer during this game should go fuck themselves. Mike Zimmer is a defensive genius. He had a plan for Jordy Nelson. What they do? No, we can cover him one-on-one. Obviously, you can't, you sorry son of a bitch.
They haven't been able to cover Jordy Nelson one-on-one for years. At least give the man a fucking, at least the man's scheme worked 2 years ago because Jordy Nelson was out all last year.
Yes, the motherfucker has one eye. He can still call defensive plays, okay? Yeah. Motherfuckers from the side and shit.
I couldn't believe it. When I saw the story, when the nigga said the defensive backs for the Vikings winning the business for themselves, I'm like, oh my God, really?
And Mike Zimmer is not a coach who throws his players under the bus.
Yeah.
His players talking about, no, we didn't. No, yes, you did, motherfucker.
Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much.
Now let's go from this game, that game was an absolute blowout. Packers won 38-25. It wasn't even close.
That was a shame.
Now we're going to move on to some heartbreak. The Tennessee Titans on this Cinderella season lost Marcus Mariota again. And not only that, they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just a week and a half after firing Gus Bradley.
Yeah. So here's the stats that are important here.
While you look up the stats, I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
How tough is Marcus Mariota? That motherfucker showed not one wince of pain when he broke his leg.
No, not at all. Not at all. Probably used to the pain from last year. Knows how to deal with it at this point.
Yeah, because remember he broke his leg against New England last year.
Yeah. So Blake Bortles, let's not even talk about the performance by the offense of the Titans. Let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about Blake Bortles. Instead switching the way that this offense is ran. 26 to 38 for 325, one touchdown. But guess what the glaring stat is, Phil? No interception.
Yes, and that is what me and you and probably everybody in the world have been telling that motherfucker. If they want to win a goddamn game, keep the goddamn ball on your own fucking team.
The TJ Yeldon era is over because he only had 2 carries while Chris Ivory had 14 for 45 and Grant had 9 for 47.
You got to give Tennessee's defense credit. They hung around in this game.
Yeah, but TJ
Matt Castle.
Well, they hung around until Allen Robinson had 9 catches for 147 yards.
Yeah, he finally came out of his shed. Motherfucker.
Which makes me wonder if Gus Bradley's been holding that team back from doing what they need to do.
It makes you wonder if somebody handed Allen Robinson the Crying Jordan Fantasy Award this year.
Probably. Send it to a mail. Participation award, Ms. Participation Award. So
now we're going to move on to a game where on Facebook I said, maybe Todd Bowles should have stayed in the hospital. The New England Patriots eviscerating the New York Jets.
If I was Todd Bowles, I would have stayed in the hospital for this one.
Todd Bowles was like, no, I got to be with my team to go to New England.
No, you don't.
You
don't. Just no. Nope. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
Let's hold on. I'm going to tell you the stats of the New York Jets quarterbacks in this game.
Oh, I already see. Oh, God.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick, 8 of 21, 136 and 2 interceptions. Bryce Petty had a couple of interceptions himself, but no completion. So his stat line ain't even on here.
He did. Keep in mind, he started the game. Okay.
Yes, Bryce Petty started.
Yes, he was 0 for 3 for nothing.
Malcolm Butler finished it.
0 for 3 for nothing in a pick. That's what it was. He got a completion. Too bad it was a Patriot that he completed it to.
Then the Jets starts, hey, Bernard Powell will be our answer at running back. This motherfucker has played for 4 teams in this year. He got cut by the Lions, who have no running game.
Here we go. Bilal Powell, 15 carries for 60 yards. Corn Robinson, 8 carries for 22 yards. What's this dude? This dude Q. Oh, they ran a reverse for 12 yards. Oh, that was that. Oh, okay, never mind.
Here's the greatest stat line that the Jets have. You ready for this one? Here are their receiving stats. Ayunya, 1 catch. Marshall, 2 catches. Peak, 1 catch. Smith, 1 catch. Seferian Jenkins, 1 catch. Powell, 2 catches.
Hey, when we say throw the ball around, we don't mean 1 completion to every receiver. It's a little bit different.
So now we are going to talk about the other side of the football, the New England Patriots. In 3 quarters of play, Tom Brady went 17 of 27 for 214 and 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Garoppolo only had to go 1 for 2. Deion Lewis, 16 carries, 52 yards.
Yeah.
LeGarrette Blount adding to his Patriots franchise record with now 17 touchdowns on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, a man named Lane Gale caught a touchdown pass from Tom Brady.
Hey, Malcolm Butler had 2 picks.
Malcolm Butler had 3. He had 3 interceptions.
And here's the worst part about it is there was only 2 sacks in this game.
But no, Malcolm Butler had 2 picks and a fumble recovery.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that there was literally only 2 sacks in this game, Phil. 2 sacks. 2. All by the Patriots.
Yeah.
2. What happened? What happened?
What happened? What happened? What happened is Bill Belichick walked into the Jets locker room and said, "Here's the gasoline. Here's the match. Have a good day."
Burn this motherfucker down. Sad. Sad.
Oh, and for those people who are saying the defense is the weak part of the New England Patriots, I got some news for you. This defense is the stingiest defense in the NFL. Yep. 14.5 points a game given up this season. Since that loss to Seattle, they have given up under 18 points a game.
A bunch of fucking savages.
Oh, but and people got to remember that Seattle game was the first game after we got rid of Jamie Collins.
That's true.
We still had issues. But now that they're all playing together, they're that 10,000-degree red knife on YouTube that you see all the time going through the AFC during the playoffs.
Here you go. So Jets news. I'm sorry. Ryan Fitzpatrick admits his sad Jets reality. That was in the news an hour ago.
Say again?
Ryan Fitzpatrick admits his sad Jets reality.
You want to know how bad it is for the Jets?
Yeah.
Bryce Petty's on IR now, okay?
Yeah.
On ESPN today, Brandon Marshall came out and asked the Jets to take him off IR and start him. Because he said Christian Hackenberg wouldn't know a fucking football from his ass.
Yes, I'm also looking at it said he lost the starting job twice only to regain it for the finale because Bryce Petty and Geno Smith are hurt. And the Jets don't want to play rookie Christian Hackenberg. I don't know.
You know all I got to say about this is?
What?
Brandon Marshall, my dude, you need to get back on your medicine because at the beginning of the season, you begged for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, here we go. You ready for this?
What's that?
So their running back, Kyrie Robinson, was placed on injured reserve after he broke his right leg for the 3rd time in 13 months. Bernard Pierce is coming back. What the fuck? That's how bad.
Wasn't he cut by the Ravens like 4 times?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Jets fans, you guys were supposed to take over the division this year. Guess what? You guys got about 10 years to go before you even think about that.
Yes.
So now let's move on to the other sad moment, if you want to consider it a sad moment. It matters on where your loyalties lie with this fan base. Derek Carr was going strong to the playoffs. They were going to be the team. They were going to go to the Super Bowl. And they were big against the Colts. And for some fucking reason, they called a pass play and he broke his fucking leg.
The bad news is that Derek Carr is out for the season.
Oh, but if you talk to Raider fans, he could be back before the Super Bowl. You ain't going to get that far, son.
The good news for the Raiders is that the guy who outperformed Derek Carr in the preseason, Matt McGloin, will be starting the last game.
Just said preseason.
Hottest guy in the preseason, Phil.
Really? Really?
Best preseason quarterback in the NFL.
Really?
I like to bring good spirits and good cheer to Raiders fans.
No! Don't sell them on false hope. The Chicago Cubs already did that. I'm going to break it down to you, Raider fans. The Raiders are going to lose to Denver. They're going to drop out of the number 2 seed. They're going to be the number 5 seed. They're going to play either the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Texans. And if it's the Texans, Tom Savage is going to beat you.
Oh, Lord. Like I said, in 2016, the only time that you had 2 starting quarterbacks named Petty and Savage, fucking 2016.
And one is on a very petty team, and the other one's in the playoffs.
Yeah, who that team is pretty savage right about now that you don't want to play.
Well, that's still kind of weak ass, but it's okay.
Hey, Tom Savage is on a roll.
Now we have Tampa Bay Buccaneers falling flat on their face and screwing themselves out of the playoffs by dropping this game to the New Orleans Saints.
Just win the fucking game. So all you had to do is just win the fucking game.
Because sadly, Tampa Bay, since the Giants lost their game, if you would have won their game, you would have had a leg up on the competition to get in the fucking playoffs.
Now they need a ton of help and a half to get in.
They need Merlin to come out of being dead for 500 fucking years and cast some hocus pocus shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The Buccaneers literally needed all they needed was to win, and they would have been fine. They would have been in cruise control because they would have been in control of their own destiny at that point. Now they need so much help that it's ridiculous. They need Detroit to win. Like Green Bay cannot win this game. Like they can't. It's not gonna happen. They need Detroit to win. They need the Redskins to lose. And that's the only way that they did go in because they don't have a tiebreaker if the Packers win.
And they have to win.
Yeah, and they have to win. Aside from anything else, they have to win their game. But yeah, I don't see that happening.
I have high expectations for the Buccaneers next year. I don't know if you heard, but their running back was about to be suspended for 4 games for violating the league drug test policy. About 10 minutes after he found out that news, he told the Buccaneers he had to go spend time with his family and was stepping away from the team. Then the news came out that he failed a drug test. Doug Martin, you have failed your city.
Yeah, and now the Bucs are good enough to where they're not going to get a good running back in the draft, unless they trade for one. You want
to know what the funny thing is about this draft coming up?
What?
The Browns, as of right now, will have the number 1 pick and the number 10 pick.
Yep. Very dangerous.
Did you see what the Patriots are asking for Jimmy Garoppolo?
What?
Or what they told I think the Patriots are using Adam Schefter. They said they want a 1st rounder and a 4th rounder for Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's worth it.
You think so after only 2 games?
Both games that we've seen him in where he was stellar. Even the one that he got hurt in. Shit.
Yeah, he did have 4 touchdowns in the first half in the Miami game.
Yeah, he's not a typical Tom Brady backup either. That's the thing, though, too.
I think if Josh McDaniels decides to leave New England, I think Garoppolo goes with him.
Probably. But it's okay because I mean, hell, they got Jacoby Brissett, who performed very well given the limited circumstances that he was in. He was on
he had a dislocated thumb injury, which was worse than Jay Cutler's, and he still played through it.
Yeah.
So once again, fuck you, Jay Cutler.
Soft ass, pussy ass nigga.
Next, we're going to move on to a team that had the #1 pick, but had to win the game. The San Francisco 49ers picking up their second win of the season over the LA Rams. How shitty must the Seahawks feel to know that the one team who could beat them all the time lost to the 49ers twice in the season?
The Rams are, to me, like one of the worst teams in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. I haven't, like, they're literally the worst team in the NFL to me. I think they're worse than the Browns. Sure as hell worse than the Niners, especially if you lose twice to my Niners. Even worse than the Chargers, we lost to the Browns. Okay, the reason why I say that the Rams are the worst team in the NFL is very simple. Outside of Todd Gurley, it's not. They don't have an identity anymore.
Well, Todd Gurley don't have an identity anymore.
And that's the other thing too. I mean, he wants to go blame the coaches about what happened, and he didn't really do.
That motherfucker said we play. He's seen better game plans in Pee Wee football games than what the Rams have put on the field.
Yeah, but meanwhile, he ain't really done nothing to step up his game. What happened to him? It's not like they're running different plays from last year. But at the same time, though, shout out to my fucking 49ers. We won a fucking game. Fuck that shit.
But you fucked yourself out of the #1 pick.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let's tell you about the psyche of the NFL player, okay? We needed a win because the guys that we were playing with would not even have a job anywhere else, bro. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. The guys that we replaced our starters with starting games right now wouldn't be playing anywhere else. They actually got to experience an NFL win this year. Like, we needed that. So I will take the L for not having a draft pick, losing out in the first pick in the draft. If we can get a win for those guys, I'll take that.
Okay, I'll give you that one. But nothing will beat the image of Joe Thomas crying on the sidelines that the Browns won the game. Because Joe Thomas, let's not bullshit. He is a future Hall of Famer.
Yes.
On a very shitty team the whole time he's been there.
Yeah. Just think he could have been on the Broncos this year too,
or on the Patriots, because the Patriots offered him too.
Yeah.
But he decided to stick it out in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Dumbass. So we're actually going to go from one good news situation that Mr. Black liked to another one. The Arizona Cardinals defeating the Seattle Seahawks at Seattle.
Yes.
Seattle is going to be a one and done in the playoffs.
Yeah, this Seattle team is not the Seattle team that everybody's used to, and that everybody.
Well, everybody thought it was the Legion of Boom, but it has come to my belief right now that it's been the Legion of Earl Thomas. Because since he's been hurt, they haven't done shit.
Yeah, pretty much. And now they got to walk into San Francisco with where they've had mild success. It's not like they were unbeatable. Like, I think actually Seattle's beaten us in San Francisco before, but I think now we're playing a more desperate, a more hungry 49ers team that finally got their first win of the season, and they're proving that they can win with the ragtag group of people that we have now. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I hope Seattle doesn't think they're going to come in and just cakewalk all over us.
Seattle already locked up a playoff spot, so with all the injuries on that team, they might be resting players. You never know.
Yeah, but they got they're 9-5-1, right? I'm checking that. No, yeah, they're 9-5-1. They have an opportunity still to get a first round bye. Oh, yeah. Because if the Falcons lose, even if the Packers and the Lions lose, with a Seattle win, the percentage they'll lock up a first round bye in the playoffs. So they have something to play for. But we do too, because who knows? This literally could be the last game that Colin Kaepernick plays in as the San Francisco 49ers, given the situation in San Francisco. We don't know.
What would your reaction be if I told you that in the game between the Bengals and the Texans, Alfred Blue was the game's leading rusher?
I haven't heard that. The Alfred Blue game leading rusher since Arian Foster got hurt 4 years ago.
Well, in the Texans' 12-10 division clinching win, Alfred Blue was the leading rusher of the game, with only 92 yards and a touchdown.
Tells you everything you need to know about the Texans and the Bengals this year.
Marvin Lewis, you're fired, fucker. So now on to a good game. In a game that locked up the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens losing and dropping out of the playoff hunt to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Whoever, at the beginning of 6 weeks ago, if you would have said the Miami Dolphins were going to make the playoffs and the Baltimore Ravens were not, you would have been laughed out of whatever fucking room you were standing in.
Yes. But I still would have been crazy and took that bet just because I'm a betting man and I'm from Vegas. So,
and you know what happened? The Baltimore Ravens are not going to make the playoffs, and the Miami Dolphins are.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Let's give credit where credit is due. Adam Gase has put that team in a position to win. Defensively, they're feeding off of last year, Dan Campbell's defense last year, and they've become even hungrier than before.
And the Donkadong Sue has not been suspended at all this year. Good job, buddy.
There you go. See? So, I don't know. Ravens, Steve Smith's going to retire.
That sucks. I love watching that man play.
Mm-hmm. Ravens just look like a sad mess right now because I don't know what they're going to do.
In 3 years, Steve Smith has become the heart and soul of that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't know.
I think it's time for them to go into rebuild mode now.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to close out the season with a win and rebuild.
So now we're going to move on to, for some God knows what reason, Akeem Talib questioning the offense of a team. Fuck you think you is? Richard Sherman, motherfucker? The fuck is up with these quarterbacks trying to get into it with offensive players? And yet, if you look who he pushed Norwood. Fuck. Denali could push Norwood and Norwood wouldn't do anything. The Kansas City Chiefs swamped the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
An offensive lineman had a touchdown pass.
Yeah. Game was they played solid. Like there's not much that you can say about this Broncos Chiefs game except the fact that the Chiefs did everything that they needed to do. They came in. Alex Smith had an Alex Smith game, 25 of 36, 244. Running game was on point. I mean, let's look at it. Let me do the math on this one. 9, 650, 200, about 240 yards rushing total on offense. Yeah. So Travis Kelce, 11 catches, 160 yards. They don't have an answer for him, and the defense is playing lights out. It goes back to what I said earlier. The Chiefs are the most dangerous team going into the playoffs right now.
I was mistaken. It was a defensive lineman who had the touchdown pass.
Oh yeah.
Broncos. Y'all need to do something about Gary Kubiak.
Yeah.
And what Gary Kubiak needs to do is grow some balls and tell John Elway to pay a fucking quarterback.
Well, I think at this point now, Elway's going to have to pull out the checkbook and have to cut some people that he re-signed on defense. Because that defense.
Could we see Jay Cutler back in Denver next year?
Nah. I think Jay Cutler. I think Jay Cutler is going to be on what some of the other quarterback DD teams that are out there right now. Easily can try out for San Francisco, even though I don't want him. You're probably going to see the Rams go after him. You're definitely going to see the Jets go after him. Probably going to see the Browns go after him. Probably going to see the Texans go after him.
The sad part about you saying all this means Jay Cutler's going to get a big contract somewhere due to the lack of good quarterbacks in the NFL.
Pretty much.
So now we're going to move on to the final game of Christmas weekend, the shellacking of the Detroit Lions. Des Bryant actually caught the fucking ball a couple times.
Yeah, caught a touchdown. And here's the crazy part about this. The game was fairly close up until the end.
Until Dallas said, okay, enough playing games.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be one of those typical high-scoring Dallas-Detroit games, and it was just the other way around.
All right, so right now we're going to, before we get into this week's, the final week of the NFL season, we're going to look at the NFL playoff picture, updated as of right now. Over in the AFC, the number 1 seed as of right now is the New England Patriots. Number 2 is the Oakland Raiders. 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4, the Houston Texans.
Yep.
5, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. And 6, you got the Miami Dolphins. The AFC playoff picture is just about set. If Oakland loses to Denver, New England gets the number 1 seed. If New England beats Miami, they get the number 1 seed. If Kansas City wins and Oakland loses, Kansas City gets the number 2 seed. Oakland drops to 5.
Yes. And I fully expect to see Oakland lose this game because the Matt McGloin growing pains are going to have to come in.
And Kansas City's playing San Diego, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the NFC is a little bit more confusing. We have the Dallas Cowboys, who already clinched the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the NFC. They're a lock. Where it goes from there, spin the wheel, nobody knows. Because as of right now, the number 2 team, you got the Atlanta Falcons. Number 3, we got the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4, we got the Green Bay Packers. Number 5, we got the New York Giants. Number 6, we got the Detroit Lions. Now, Detroit Lions beat Green Bay. They will move into that number 4 spot because they will win the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on the border, you got the Washington Redskins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both need to win their games. Once the Redskins are playing the Giants, the Buccaneers are playing Carolina. 2 games that could be tough for both teams to actually pull out victories in.
Yeah.
So what I am thinking here is I really want Detroit to beat Green Bay, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen. I think Detroit's going to beat Green Bay.
I mean, even in my weekly picks I do at Santa Fe at Station Casinos, I pick Detroit. I want them to win. I think if they win, the Redskins beat the Giants. I think the Redskins squeak in over the Green Bay Packers.
Well, that's how it's supposed to. That's what's going to happen because if the Redskins win, they're in the best position because they tie, and so a 9-6-1 record is better than a 9-7 record. Yeah. Mathematically speaking, now.
You love those ties, huh? Those ties, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's how the Bengals snuck in a few years ago too, with them damn fucking ties.
Yep. Okay, so now it is time for the grand finale of the NFL, Week 17, where most years the games don't mean shit, but this year they do. The NFL did a great job scheduling divisional opponents against each other at the end of the season.
Yeah, one big criticism that everybody had. Give me a second. Let me grab some water real quick before we start this.
Right.
Talk about. Hold
on. So as Mr. Black goes, we're going to talk about some of these coaching vacancies real quick. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in conversations with Tom Coughlin to be their next head coach. The young guy didn't work. The middle guy didn't work. Hell, maybe the old guy will. We know he'll get the defense on point, which has been sneakily good this season. But can he make the offense go the way it should go? That one only time will tell. But also the Jacksonville Jaguars have requested permission to speak with Josh McDaniels of the New England Patriots after the regular season. That would be granted. I don't know because New England's looking for a Super Bowl run. Chuck Pagano could be out of Indy. Marvin Lewis God hopes he's out of Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati Bengals fans feel the same way. Sean Payton could possibly be out of New Orleans. He said the Ryan brothers already got fired. Who else? The Rams are looking for a new coach. Think that the coach of the Chargers is going to get shit-canned. Todd Bowles could get fired after the season that the Jets put out on the field this year, where his team basically just gave up on him. I would have said Adam Gase would have been on a short leash, but he turned the Dolphins around. Andy Reid is getting up there in years. I see he's got a few years left. But it should be real interesting. Now, this week 17, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All 16 games this week are division games. The NFL did that right. No Thursday night game, which is a very good thing because Thursday night football has been ass most of the season. The only games with playoff implications are New England at Miami, Carolina at Tampa Bay, New Orleans at Atlanta, Giants Washington, Oakland Denver, KC San Diego, and Green Bay Detroit. Now, I don't know if you heard any of my spiel, but I went off on a spiel.
I heard him. I heard you say.
So now we're going to get cracking with week 17. We're going to start off with a game that means nothing. The Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Both teams have had less than stellar seasons. The Baltimore Ravens were 2 games better than the Bengals. The Bengals were 1 tie better than the whole division. Like I said, Marvin Lewis, please get the fuck out of Cincinnati.
Well, oddly enough, I think that if Marvin Lewis wins this game, I think his job is safe. I believe,
in my opinion, the only reason that he should have been safe is if they made the playoffs again, even though they would have lost the first game.
Yeah, but this, you gotta, like I said before, the big problem is that this was a problem with the offense and the offensive coordinator. They didn't have a plan for what would happen if Hugh Jackson left, and it came back to bite him in the ass.
Well, I talked to some Bengals fans like, oh, AJ Green's been hurt. Motherfucker, you guys had 2 wins when he was healthy. You were 2-6 before AJ Green got hurt.
AJ Green got hurt, 2 years ago? And Hugh Jackson was still the offensive coordinator.
And they had Mohamed Sanu and Marvin Jones.
Mm-hmm. And they still were dangerous. They still went like 10-6 that year.
Yeah.
That's no excuse.
The only issue that they had that year was the 2 games they played against New England where they got thrashed.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that.
I think Baltimore wins this game, and hopefully Marvin Lewis gets fired right after.
He says he has no plans to retire, according to the news. He's been turned to Ric Flair. I will never retire.
Woo! Who you got in this game?
I'm going to take the Bengals. I don't want to because I want Steve Smith to go out with a win. Of course, I'm also partial to the other Harbaugh brother, even though he beat my Harbaugh brother in the Super Bowl. But I think the Bengals need this win because they haven't won a game in a long time. I think they're kind of motivated to close out the season on a high note, 6-9-1. So I got them in this game. I know you got Baltimore in this game, so you can get rid of Marvin Lewis. But Marvin Lewis.
We're going to move on to another meaningless game. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who I said they're courting Tom Coughlin, so they might want to go into Indy and win this game to show that they have some heart.
if they win this game, I want them to talk to the offensive coordinator that's running the show right now in Jacksonville, because apparently he knows what he's doing. Um, that Titans defense has been stingy all year, and they put up 38 points against them. I should tell you everything that you need to know about what the Colts have that they're going to come up against this week.
I don't want to, but I'm going to have to go with the Colts in this game. Chuck Pagano is another coach who's probably coaching for his job.
Okay.
So I think the Colts will, what's the old saying, stay Chuck strong and band together with him, but I still think he'll get fired at the end of the year.
I don't think that they're going to fire him.
They should have fired him when he tried that stupid-ass fake punt against New England.
Well, here's the deal, right? They haven't been able to protect Andrew Luck for 2 years now.
They have failed at getting him any help. When you think Andre Johnson is the answer at 33 years old, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Hey, screw that. What about T.Y. Hilton? I mean, no disrespect to T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, I'm not disrespecting T.Y. Hilton at all. But he has been plagued with injuries his whole career.
Yeah. T.Y. Hilton is any of these guys who got off from free agency, you have a T.Y. Hilton. And, it's not a good look.
Now we're going to move on to an AFC East division game. Bill Belichick said he ain't resting no goddamn starters against the Miami Dolphins.
Of course not. The damn division's on. Not the home field throughout is on the line. Very simple.
And this is not the same Patriots team as last year who gave it away.
Yeah, no. They're going to bring it to them. And Tom Brady didn't get a chance to play the Dolphins this year. So
no, and the Dolphins are the ones who injured Jimmy Garoppolo. I think New England wins this game by at least 7.
By at least, I think it's going to be more than that. Bill Belichick's going to come through the point. You want to come to the playoffs, you got to come to play. This is going to be the Adam Gase reality check right here. I know that the Dolphins always play them tough, but Bill Belichick is going to give Adam Gase that reality check that he's always wanted, which is, I have the best quarterback in the NFL.
At 39 years old.
Yeah, 39 years old. Your move.
Did you know about this amazing stat? The New England Patriots have not lost a game where Deion Lewis has been in the starting lineup.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A guy who Jacksonville cut because he kept breaking his leg.
Yeah. The Jacksonville cut him. Philadelphia cut him.
And Bill Belichick's like, hey, little guy.
Yes.
We know what to do with you.
You can be my Keith Byers.
Come here. You're going to be my new Kevin Falk. Come here. And the bad part about Deion Lewis is he does as much damage between the tackles as LeGarrette Blount does.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, don't count out LeGarrette Blount. That's, I think, a man that's probably the most underrated player in the NFL right now.
LeGarrette Blount should be in the MVP talk, but he's nowhere near it.
No, nowhere near it. They're afraid, which I understand. Because then you got to give a Patriot the MVP, and they don't want to do that with Tom Brady.
So would you consider this the best offseason signing of LeGarrette Blount? Remember, the Patriots weren't going to bring him back.
Yeah, no.
Then they signed him to a 1-year, $2 million contract with incentives.
Oh, yeah. And he
has gone over 1,000 yards and 17 touchdowns already this year.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought we had 19 now. Because he had 2 touchdowns.
He had 15 and he scored 2 in this last game, so 17.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
So we both agree New England's going to win that game?
Pretty much.
Now we got 2 failures in the NFC North. One who was actually the last undefeated team, the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. I don't care about this game. Do you? Nah,
this is going to be simply just for show at this point. If anybody even shows up to this game, I even be fucking surprised. Minnesota has went from the hottest team to a fucking disappointment in a matter of 3 games.
I think Mike Zimmer's going to sit on the sideline with a sniper rifle aimed at his corners if they decide to go rogue again.
Yeah, this is going to really prove to see if his teammates have given up on him or not, and then see who's going to get cut this season. And see how that goes.
So, speaking of meaningless games, we're going to move on to Rex Ryan, to the game of the team that fired Rex Ryan, the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets.
Oh, you mean
DJ Manuel is starting because the Bills are sitting Tyrod Taylor due to business reasons. I have never heard somebody getting benched for business reasons.
I think he was like too close to hitting his incentives, and they're like, "Nah, we don't want to pay this man."
Well, not only that, the contract they gave Tyrod Taylor, and I was reading about this earlier, that if he were to get hurt, the Bills would have to pay him $37.5 million.
Yeah, they gave him that Colin Kaepernick contract.
Tyrod Taylor, good move, sir. Good move.
He said a business decision. I'm just looking at that article right now. Business decision.
And again, another game no one cares about. So next game, we got, I think this is a game where Dallas is going to actually let Tony Romo play a little bit at Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia upsets the Cowboys this week.
Let's see. Let me take a look at this stat. Okay, so the Eagles, they needed this win. They needed to win last week. The Eagles are hungry. I mean, there's really nothing that they can do to the Cowboys, so I think the Cowboys may rest their starters. So it could be the Eagles getting a pride win out of it, and I think they may pull it off, especially if the Cowboys rest their starters.
So do the Cowboys risk Ezekiel Elliott this week? He's only 176 yards away from breaking the all-time rookie rushing record. In my opinion, you need to sit him. He's the most valuable guy on the team right now, besides the offensive line.
Yeah, he's the only reason why Dak Prescott's been playing so good. Hands down, the only reason why. So
yeah, say what you want to say about his crop top.
Oh, fruity ass. It's all good though. We ain't tripping.
Now we're going to move on to the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
What would you do if the Browns won their second game?
Oh my God, against the Steelers? I don't know. I think Mike Tomlin will throw a fit after he had the game that he had. Although, if you think about it, this could be a trap game.
But what do you think about what Terry Bradshaw said about Mike Tomlin, that he's a glorified cheerleader?
I have no idea. I thought he was the stupidest thing that you could have said. Now you can motivate this man. I said, you have pissed this man off and pissed off the fan base. I'm like, he was the person that brought the last Super Bowl championship to Pittsburgh. Matter of fact, he has 2 Super Bowl rings with Pittsburgh because he was the defensive coordinator when Bill Cowher was there during Ben Roethlisberger's first season.
Ain't this what people love about Terry Bradshaw? He ain't afraid to speak his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like an idiot when he's calling games and doing highlights, but he ain't afraid to speak his mind.
Oh, sound like Donald Trump.
The next game we're going to talk about is a game that Tampa Bay needs to win to keep their hopes alive. The Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Does Tampa Bay keep their playoff hopes alive in this game?
Carolina, every time Carolina plays Tampa Bay, it's always a good game. The Panthers are 5-9. No, they're 5-9-1, I believe. Let me see. They could be 6-9-1. Let's check. No, I need to check the standings, so I need to make sure I have this right. They are 6-9. Okay, they're 6-9. So, in a very little sense, if the Panthers lose this game, they would go from first to worst in their division.
Ain't the first team to do it.
I ain't the first team to do it, but that tells you a lot about last season in the NFL. It tells you exactly what we went through as football fans.
Yeah.
I think Tampa Bay is more hungrier than Carolina. Although Carolina would love to play spoiler, they don't have the personnel to do so. It's just the way I feel.
All right, the next game on the docket is, do the Houston Texans give Brock Osweiler another chance? Since they clinched the division, do they let him play this game against Tennessee?
Hell no. Let's look at the Macho Man Tom Savage's numbers from last week real quick.
He only had 128 passing yards.
Yeah, but was he efficient when he did it?
Like I said, no interceptions.
He was efficient. So, I mean, that in itself, that tells you everything you need to know. He was 23 of 36, 260 yards. No, that's the week before. Hold on, sorry. See what happened? I'll get focused this year. Yeah, he was 18 of 29. He was efficient. Yeah, running game carried that. I don't know. I think they'll roll with Tom Savage. They've already rolled when they got to win. I think they'll just roll with it and see what happens.
Do you trust Tom Savage in the playoffs, though?
Not by a long shot. I don't care who they play. Because they imagine they run into the Dolphins. They fucked.
All right, so now we got the New Orleans Saints at Atlanta. If Atlanta wins, they clinch the number 2 seed and the first round bye.
Mm-hmm. If they lose, all hell gonna break loose.
If they lose, then Seattle has to win to get to the first round bye.
Yeah, well then Seattle loses, and the winner of the NFC North gets the first round bye.
Which is fucked up because that division is horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
How Charles Barkley said, it's terrible. It's terrible, AJ. It's terrible.
Terrible. Falcons and Tampa Bay, they play each other tough every time they play each other.
Julio Jones will be playing this week.
Yeah, my money.
He needs to knock the rust off.
True. My money is still on. My money's on Tampa Bay. I like them. I think they'll do it.
If they were playing Tampa Bay, I'd give you that when they're playing the Saints.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're playing it. My money's on the Saints. Let me tell you why. I had a whole spiel about this. Sean Payton is playing for his next contract. I don't think he's going to be in New Orleans next year. I think somebody's going to offer a ridiculous amount of money to trade for Sean Payton. With that said, I also think that Drew Brees' time's up in New Orleans as well. So.
Can you show something for me? If the game was in New Orleans, I could see going with New Orleans. But I'm gonna have to go with Atlanta this time. It's time for Matty Meltdown to earn his alternative nickname as Matty Ice. Show that he's got ice water in his veins and put his foot on the throats of a division rival.
We shall see, my friend. I think that Drew Brees got one good game left in him.
Next, we are going to move on to the New York Giants against the Washington Redskins. The Giants have been the biggest clusterfuck in the world this year. You never know if they're going to win, lose, or draw.
Yes.
I'm getting camera bombed by Amy. Anyway.
Okay, he might be tired. He's a zombie now.
Okay, I'm tired. I gotta finish this video.
Okay.
Bye.
Hey, make sure you don't use any internet connection.
Oh, go away. I think the Washington Redskins win this game. Like I said, they're going to sneak into the playoffs over the loser of the Packers-Lions game.
Mr. You Like That is going to be back. I'm not worried about that. It's going to be.
You like that? You like that? No, we do not. Next, we're going to move on to a game that I think the Raiders need to win, but they will lose to the Denver Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos defense is going to come out pissed off after what happened to them at the hands of Kansas City last week.
It's going to be very cold. It's going to be very high, mile high. Yeah, I don't think the Raiders are going to win this game.
And you never want to have a backup quarterback facing that defense.
Not in Denver either.
No.
If you had to face it, at least face it at home. What do you know? Now you're going to Denver, dude.
Oh, right. One more note on the Patriots. If they beat Miami, they will be undefeated on the road this year.
Interesting.
Yes, their 2 losses came at home.
Oh, boy.
Tells you the kind of season it's been. Now we're going to move on to another underperforming team against a shitty team. The Arizona Cardinals traveling to Los Angeles to play the LA Rams.
In the game that might be Carson Palmer's last stand for Arizona, or even in the NFL in general. Definitely, Larry Fitzgerald has reneged on his whole retirement thing because he said that he might come back for another season.
But he wants to play for a Super Bowl contending team.
Oh, of course.
I know this is the fandom right now, but he talked about it last year.
Yeah.
One of the top teams he wants to play for is the Patriots because he wants to play a season with Tom Brady.
It would be interesting, I'll tell you that much. It would be very interesting.
I think Arizona mops the floor with Los Angeles this week.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly. I told you, Arizona has no redeeming qualities at all. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad.
They got what could be the best running back in the league if he stayed healthy.
Yeah, that's like saying like you got the best engine inside of a Pinto.
Wouldn't that make it a Sundance? Oh.
We've owned one of those.
Yeah. Now we're going to move on to what will probably be a home game for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs at San Diego. The Chiefs fighting for that first round bye because they know Oakland is on the ropes.
All 73 Chargers fans are going to pack into that stadium.
And the Chiefs will be scoreboard watching because both the Raiders game and the Chiefs game are on at the same time.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you, if I was a Niners fan, right, I'd go to the Chargers game cheering for the Niners just because of fuck it. That's it. What do you mean this is the Niners game?
You want to know what the honest, cold-hearted truth is?
What?
The Chargers would be a good team for Silicon Valley. The Silicon Valley Chargers.
Yeah. Because everybody
needs a ring to it, don't it?
Everybody needs a Charger in Silicon Valley.
Next, we're going to move on to the Seattle Seahawks at the 49ers. We talked about this game earlier. I would love to see your boys win just because I dislike Seattle that much. But Seattle needs a win to get some what's the word I'm looking for?
Momentum?
Momentum after losing to the Cardinals last week and dropping 2 of their last 4.
2 words for you. Upset Sunday.
Sunday.
I think this is going to be and we talked about this earlier. This may be Colin Kaepernick's last game in a 49ers uniform. That's probably all depending on if Chip Kelly survives another year, because that's even on the fence now as we speak.
I really think they'll give Chip Kelly 1 more year because he walked into a Coach Tom Sula shit show, is what he inherited.
Yeah, well, he invested a stack of. He got a stack of injuries this year. Like, we've lost everyone, and then their backups. Like, the only person that has survived is Colin Kaepernick for some real reason.
Injuries are no longer an excuse.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. You're learning Chip Kelly's offense. It's not like It's not like we're in Josh McDaniels' offense where while complicated, there's enough personnel that make it easy to learn. Everybody's learning this offense.
Now we're going to move on to the final game of the week. There is no Thursday night football. There is no Monday night football. The marquee matchup on Sunday night football this week will crown the NFC North champions. The surprising Detroit Lions traveling to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, man. I feel bad for Detroit, but I believe that they're going to win this game. I think that Detroit is hungrier than Green Bay to win this game. I think that Detroit themselves has the personnel, and I think Detroit has the better quarterback of this game. And that's what it's going to come down to, because while the Packers have had a top-flight running defense, the
Detroit Lions don't run the ball.
Exactly. So there's no need for them to have a good running defense. This is not going to matter. It's going to be the Matt Stafford show. Matt Stafford's going to show why he's a premier quarterback in the NFL. May even throw, if he gets his Lions to the playoffs with nobody, might be able to throw his hat in for MVP.
Now, I believe Matt Stafford should be in the MVP talk. Because he has done a lot with not much around him. He's got Golden Tate. The offensive line has been up and down. No running game.
Yep.
He lost Calvin Johnson Jr. at the beginning of the season. And the funny part is, during the draft, we could honestly see Barry Sanders Jr. in a Lions uniform next season.
Which would be very, very interesting.
Would Barry Sanders act like Eli Manning's mother when he got drafted by the Chargers? Oh, hell no.
Unfortunately, Barry Sanders Jr. has historically been a backup, and it simply goes like this. You take whatever contract the team wants to give you. Don't care if you get drafted as Mr. Irrelevant. You just run that contract. Just do it.
Who do you got? You got Detroit? You know what? I'm going to agree with you. I want Detroit to win this game. I don't want to see Green Bay in the playoffs, because if they get in the playoffs, every time I turn on ESPN, all they're going to be saying is, Aaron Rodgers is the league MVP.
Discount double check it out.
So as a little bonus segment this week, since I think Baltimore Crying Jordan Awards went to San Diego as a whole population this year.
Exactly.
So we're going to throw in a little bonus time. The college football playoff starts this weekend. We got the number 1 seed, Alabama, Crimson Tide, probably a team that could probably beat 5 or 6 NFL franchises right now, taking on the Washington Huskies, whose coach led Boise State to that win over Oklahoma with the Statue of Liberty play to win the game a few years back. Can Washington defeat Alabama?
Hell no. As much as
even with a month and a half of preparation?
Nope.
So you got Alabama in this game?
I have Alabama because let me tell you something. Alabama is the only team that has impressed me in the whole entire college system. They're the only team that has consistently, game in and game out, have done everything that they've wanted on the football field. You have Ohio State that's in this playoff. And I know that I got a few Ohio State fans that are going to be watching this video. Let me tell you something, Ohio State. Your team didn't win its division. Your team does not belong in the college playoff.
Well, okay. I can see why Ohio State got in. they did have some big quality wins.
Okay, but you can have quality wins all day long. I'm not saying that their wins weren't quality, okay? But I have seen teams when we had this bowl system, right? Remember, this was only just a few years ago when we had this bowl system, right? A loss to Penn State, even with Penn State winning their division, would have meant that you're not playing for the national championship. Period.
I was going to get into that with Ohio State. Will Ohio State be rusty? They haven't played since November. They're going on 2 months without a game.
Yeah, they've been practicing.
I know that, but Deshaun Watson is a different type of beast.
Yeah, that's what it goes back to. They got to mess around and face Clemson, a team that's been angry. But the thing is that Clemson is a flawed team. Let's not get it twisted. Clemson.
Only team that's okay. Alabama's flawed too because they have a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, but Alabama has consistently, even with the freshman.
On the flip side of that, Alabama's defense is averaging 21 points a game, scoring 21 points a game.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Alabama has consistently, game in and game out, have done everything that they wanted to do to the other team.
Okay, so who is your prediction for the college football finals?
Rematch, Clemson, Alabama.
I agree. I think Clemson wants it. Clemson played Alabama tough last year. Very tough.
Clemson is the only team in this playoff right now that has a legitimate shot of beating Alabama because their offense matches up very well against Alabama's defense. Deshaun Watson matches up very well against Alabama's defense.
And now my final question for you, sir, is what the hell is wrong with your ex-Harbaugh? Have you heard some of the shit he has said in the media?
Oh, yeah.
Call motherfuckers jive turkeys. Talk about we got enemies. We got a lot of enemies.
Damn right. Got a lot of people trying to get in this facility. Okay.
Oh, man. I love Harbaugh, man.
Because let's break it down. The only flaw, the big flaw that's on Harbaugh's resume is nowadays now 0-2 against Ohio State. But he has also lost 2 seasons in a row in the last 30 seconds of a football game. Now, Harbaugh, you my coach. You know I love you. We got to get this shit figured out. I don't care what you got to do. You got to get shore up the last 30 seconds of these games. You fucking up. We lost to Michigan State because of a botched punt. And then we fucked up and allowed a touchdown in the last 30 seconds of the game. You can't do this, Jimmy. Can't do it, bro. Sorry.
So, what are your thoughts on Nick Saban? A couple of years ago, he was pissed off because his team won the national championship. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, and he was mad because he missed out on a week of recruiting.
Yep. Because
now with satellite camps coming out, he's going to be even more pissed.
Well, of course, because now Jim Harbaugh has a leg up on him. Jim Harbaugh has been going in the enemy territory, bro, and recruiting people. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, fuck it, I'm going to Alabama. I'm going to places that these motherfuckers won't go to. I'll go right into Alabama, right into Texas, and start recruiting motherfuckers. Harbaugh ain't playing. Jim Harbaugh is not playing, bro.
This motherfucker last year climbed into a treehouse to talk to a recruit.
Yep, damn right. He had a sleepover with a recruit, nigga. That's how serious
that motherfucker was on some Netflix and chill shit with a recruit, nigga.
He was just trying Netflix and chill with the boy's mom, that's all.
Why are you bothering us, old lady? We're just trying Netflix and chill. But anyway, any final thoughts for our last NFL Throwdown of 2016?
It has been a hell of an NFL season. We've seen a lot of highs. We've seen a lot of lows. We've seen some coaches get fired. We've seen some careers get resurrected. It's been a hell of a season. The one constant in this season, though, is that I feel that the NFL isn't as fun as it used to be. With all these rules and regulations they placed on people celebrating and congregating and shit like that.
Oh, wait. How about during that Detroit-Dallas game, how about them penalizing the Lions for tackling Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm a do J-Blaq's regular outro this week. Y'all see that red button probably around yonder. If you like what we do, like what we say, go ahead and hit that button. If you don't, hit it anyway so you can bitch at us later.
Oh, and just because you think that the NFL season is over doesn't mean that we're going to be not talking about the NFL. We got playoffs. Yeah,
playoffs. Yes, we got the playoff picture. And starting, I'm going to put a date on it. We are going to start let's say January 14th is a Saturday.
Okay.
Will be the premiere of SYN and J-Blaq's NBA slam dunk coverage.
It should be an interesting time. I think we'll get it cracking. We'll definitely make it happen, sir.
Because one person is doing something that me and you have never seen in our lifetime in the NBA right now. And that is Mr. Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. He's a one-man show up down there in Oklahoma City, brother. I don't know. He's
15 triple-doubles and before December 28th.
Yep.
Only one man has more, and that was the big O, Oscar Robertson, who myself nor Mr. Black got to watch play.
Yes. Tells you everything you need to know about this being historic. I guess my only problem is that the Thunder are still 20-12. They have the same amount of losses as the Clippers. They're the fifth seed in the playoffs, right? Like the fifth seed in the Western Conference right now. So just throwing that out there.
And the other story we need to talk about is how about the way James Harden is playing under Mike D'Antoni?
Oh yeah. Run it. You gotta run it. That's all they're doing. They're running the damn court. I mean, they have
Russell Westbrook with 15 triple doubles on the season. Mm-hmm. James Harden has 8 already.
Yeah, man.
But we both got to do our homework with the NBA. That's why I'm going to give us a few weeks before we start that show. But we'll be starting it in the midst of the playoffs, NFL playoffs, so it's the perfect time for us to get into NBA talk.
That's right.
So as I said, click that subscribe button, talk shit to us. We don't care. And we will be back tomorrow night with part 2 of our 3 videos in 3 days with our weekly wrestling talk. And me and J-Blaq have a lot to talk about with wrestling.
Oh, yes. I got caught up with Lucha Underground. Well, except for tonight's episode. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, I have it set on the DVR for it to record when it comes on. So I'm actually caught up on it too. I binge watched it like I told you I would.
Yeah.
And on a slight note, for any of the people who watch the wrestling videos, watch this one and stay here tonight, I just want to give props, mad props. I posted the picture on your Facebook wall of Alexa Bliss in her arm from this SmackDown.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, ooh.
Give credit where it's due. This young lady finished the match and actually DDT'd Becky Lynch with that arm and pinned her, hooking the leg with that arm.
Yeah. I just hope that there's no permanent damage, because if there is, we're going to end up with a Finn Balor moment and I might have to drop the belt. So hopefully, God.
So who in the hell was La Luchadores this week?
I have no idea. I know somebody from NXT though. I believe that.
I know it wasn't Naomi because her ass wasn't that fat.
Exactly.
But anyway, I'm Big Sin. That's the homie J-Blaq.
Yes, sir. And like I said before, subscribe, join us, have some fun with us, chill with us. It's a celebration, bitches. Let's go.
Oh yeah, on the final note, 2016 Grim Reaper, take the Kardashians, but no one else.
You leave Betty White and Stan Lee alone, you son of a bitch.
All right, Mr. Black, I will catch you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
You look like me. We're both tired as fuck.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, it is official. I have WWE 2K17.
Oh, really? That just made my night.
Yes, sir.
So I know what we're getting into a little bit this weekend.
Of course.
Yeah. Anyway, I am Big Sin. That is J-Blaq. We are out this bitch. See you tomorrow night. Deuces.
Peace.